start the clock.
This is Valley View News.
Get your hands off our land!
Thousands of demonstrators commemorate an Armenian tragedy. A major automobile dealership is in crisis. And Haitian music at CSUN. All this and much more on Valley View News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Valley View News. I'm BJ Robinson.
And I'm Geeta Kumar.
State and county officials were honored at an annual award ceremony last weekend for their hard work in public service. Valley View News' Jamie Garrison has the story.
The 7th Annual Z Awards for Excellence, hosted by Councilman Dennis Zine, honored county and city employees who protect the community.
Today, we're going to honor representatives of the LAPD, Valley Traffic Division LAPD, West Valley LAPD, Topanga LAPD, LA County Sheriff's Department, California Highway Patrol, and the District Attorney's Office. Each of those departments, each of those agencies protects and serves the people of my district as well as other communities.
The ceremony took place at the Warner Center Marriott in Woodland Hills. Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, LAPD Chief William Bratton, and City Controller Wendy Gruel came to honor those who risked their lives to protect and serve.
This is a family of law enforcement that risk their lives every single day, and I'm always happy to be part of it, to support my colleague Dennis Zine, but most importantly, to support those people who support us, law enforcement here in the San Fernando Valley.
It's a great event because, as you could see, some 600 people attend, and they do to say thank you as a community.
Among the 7 of those who were nominated included Traffic Enforcement Officer Andre Battleline, Deputy District Attorney Nicole Flood, LAPD Detective Clarence Spear, and Los Angeles Sheriff's Deputy Brad Johnson for his outstanding aid in the Metrolink train crash. The honorees are chosen from a list of nominations by their department. But besides the honorees, the ceremony was also to honor those who seldom receive recognition for their hard work in public service. The Z Awards were to honor the dedication and hard work by our city's public safety professionals. In Woodland Hills, I'm Jamie Garrison, reporting for Valley View News.
Every April 24th, people around the world commemorate the Armenian genocide. Armenians and their supporters want the Turkish and U.S. governments to formally recognize the killings that happened during World War I. We have 2 stories. First, Valley View's Balit Kanian reports from the CSUN campus, then Gianna Gregorio reports on the demonstrations in front of the Turkish embassy.
This is the sound of a community who wants recognition. And this is a room of CSUN students who want to do something about it, beginning with watching the documentary Screamers, made widely popular by rock band System of a Down.
The forgotten genocide. Look at what is happening now to the ethnic Albanians in Kosovo, and you can follow a line that leads finally here to the near annihilation of the Armenians in 1915. It was, quite simply, the first genocide of the 20th century.
Students felt strongly about the film's message.
I take away a lot of the pain that the people felt at the time, and also the pain and the sorrow that we're having trouble recognizing the genocide.
So every time I see it, it sort of builds that anger and it builds that obligation that I do have to do something, I do have to take a stand, and I have to make a change.
The next day, Armenian students created a box where they each stood for 15-minute intervals to represent the museum display the Turks wanted to create out of the last Armenian remaining on Earth. On the glass box was a poster quoting Prince Golitsyn of Russia. In a short time, there will be no Armenians left in the Caucasus, save a few specimens for the museum. The poster also stated the infamous quote said by Adolf Hitler before he began the Holocaust. Who, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians?
I'm concerned and disturbed. I've known about the genocide, the Armenian genocide, and of course, I'm glad that you are doing this on campus.
The students also put up posters that stated facts about what happened during the genocide. On the last day of the student demonstrations, the CSUN Armenian Student Association, the Alpha Gamma Alpha sorority, and the Alpha Epsilon Omega fraternity finished the week of events with a ceremony.
In 1915, the Ottoman Empire makes a decision to finally solve its Armenian question.
I believe that after 95 years, our generation is the one that can make a difference.
A savage roared to the brides, "You must dance.
You must dance when our drum sounds. And the whip started wildly cracking on the bodies of the Armenian women who were missing death.
And the classical Armenian sound of a duduk. The ceremony ended with an Armenian prayer in front of the student-built replica church, followed by the lighting of candles.
Amen.
The week of remembrance ends tomorrow, as many will march from Hollywood to the Turkish embassy on Wilshire, as they do every year on April 24th. From Northridge, I'm Violet Kanyan for Valley View News.
Get your hands off our land!
Thousands of Armenian protesters were heard shouting outside the Turkish embassy. Many held signs and waved Armenian and American flags, while others wore these shirts. The reason for being there that day was clear.
To commemorate the 94th anniversary of the Armenian Genocide.
In 1915, the Ottoman Turkish Empire claimed the lives of more than 1.5 million Armenians. Although the Armenian Genocide is widely noted as the first genocide of the 20th century, it is still not recognized. Assembly member Paul Krikorian says that immediate action needs to be taken.
And I think it's important for all Americans to really stand up and demand justice for these crimes of the past, because only by doing so can we prevent future incidents of genocide and abuses of human rights.
The Armenian Youth Federation organizes the yearly event. Police were present mostly to direct traffic and maintain peace. Members of the Armenian community are hopeful that justice will be served.
We'll never forget and we will never forgive.
We're going to fight until the United States does the right thing and recognizes the Armenian Genocide.
Many Armenian organizations are circulating petitions nationwide. They hope that President Obama will formally recognize what happened 94 years ago as genocide. Reporting in the studio, I'm Gianna Gregorio for Valley View News.
General Motors is making big cuts in production and employees. GM will end the production of the Pontiac brand by June 1st. It will also cease production of the Hummer, Saturn, and Saab vehicles and cut 21,000 jobs by the end of this year. It will also eliminate 42% of GM dealerships throughout the U.S.
Here is Claudia Carrasco with a look at how the economy is further affecting the car industry.
Chrysler sales have plunged over the past year, and the dealerships across the country are feeling the pain. Valley View's Kai Jones reports on a Chrysler dealership that has been operated in Van Nuys for almost 50 years.
Rows and rows of cars with no one looking to buy. At Big Valley Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Van Nuys, it has been an all too familiar scene. Owner Howard Sells has been in business with Chrysler for almost 45 years, and due to recent hardships on American car companies, he has decided to bail out.
When the banking industry start tightening up on their credit, when gasoline prices went to $4, things start slowing down and they start slowing up with credit. If you didn't have perfect credit, you couldn't buy a car.
The Chrysler Corporation itself is possibly on the verge of filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, despite top sales in 2008. Car dealerships all over the nation are suffering. Van Nuys Chrysler Dodge and Jeep is phasing out its entire inventory due to the recession. New cars like the Dodge Magnum that gave the corporation a boost in sales when it first came out on the scene can no longer sustain them. Howard Sells has had to let a lot of staff go and runs the dealership with less than half the staff he had only a year ago.
January of 2008, I had 119 people working for me. January of 2009, I had 78 people working for me. And as of today, I have 24 people working.
Sells plans to keep his lot, but may possibly fill it with imports that account for 85% of sales in California. But with a little financial backing, the American car companies can bounce back. If not, the Valley may only have imports to buy when things finally turn around. In Van Nuys, I'm Kai Jones for Valley View News.
And Chrysler reached key labor deals last week to avoid possible bankruptcy. The company made deals with its unions in the U.S. and Canada. The deals came days before the Obama administration placed deadlines for Chrysler to gain concessions from the unions, renegotiate nearly $7 billion in debt, and form an alliance with automakers Fiat.